What's up everyone, and welcome back to the Evolved Jeeping channel, and hope you're all enjoying this lovely warm fall weather. And because it is the fall, unfortunately the wind has picked up a bit, so I do hope that you can hear me over the wind noise in this video. Unfortunately, because I do my videos outside in the elements, the wind noise is something I typically have to deal with in the fall. I haven't yet gone ahead and picked up one of those mics that I can clip onto my shirt. I know I need to pick up one of those because it would help you guys hear what I'm trying to say. What I'm going to do in today's video is I'm going to try and keep my voice up so that you can hear it. I'm also going to try and keep the phone close so that the sound is picked up nice and clear. But again, guys, this is just something I have to deal with, so I do hope that everything I'm trying to say does come through. And if I notice during the editing that it doesn't, maybe what I'll try and do is do a voiceover so that everything will be a little bit clearer. But anyways, guys, on today's video, what we're going to be doing is continuing our mini-series for our Rearview Mirror Dashcam systems. On the last video, we reviewed the Azdome PG17 4K rearview system. If you haven't seen that video, make sure to click on the link above to go check that out. But on today, we're actually going to be reviewing a new brand, and the brand is called Pelsee, and the unit that we're going to be taking a look at is their P12 Plus. If you're just jumping on this channel and you haven't seen any of this mini-series video, basically what these systems are they are little screens that are designed to be either attached to your stock rear view mirror, or you can actually replace your stock mirror altogether with this screen. These screens come with two cameras, a front-facing camera, which is typically integrated into the back of the screen itself. But I have done some reviews where I had a detached one, so it was a separate unit that still faced forward. And then the second camera that a lot of these units come with is a detached rear view camera. These systems are designed to give you visibility of the front and the back of your Jeep, or your vehicle, in my case a Jeep. And basically, because these systems have cameras, they actually offer dash cam ability where you can record both the front and the back of your vehicle, both driving and while parked. This unit right here is a 12-inch wide unit. It is a 4K unit, so it has a 4K resolution front-facing camera and a 1080p rear camera. This unit, typical to a lot of the other units, it has your loop recording, so that it has the ability to record continuously while driving. Then it also has your G sensor built into it, so that in the event that your vehicle is impacted, this system will actually lock record and record what's happening after that event occurs. That can also be used while parked, so it's not only while driving. A couple of features that this unit has that I haven't necessarily seen in some of the other units is this one has voice command, which I actually did see in the Azdome PG17. So that gives you ability to say something and command the screen to actually do something. So that's a really cool feature that I can't wait to check out. Next feature that this one has is collision detection and blind spot monitoring. So that is a cool feature that I haven't seen in any of the other units that I've reviewed. So I can't wait to check that out and see what that's all about. Of course, this unit does also, like some of the other units, it does have a Bluetooth app that you can actually use on your phone to either live stream the footage of the cameras or to actually be able to pull off images from the camera and put it on, or from the system and put it onto your device. With this unit, we're actually going to do two videos. The first video is going to be a review video of just this system. So it's going to be primarily focused on this item. What we're going to do is unbox it to show you guys what it comes with. Then we're going to go ahead and install it. And for that, I'm actually going to show you both options on how to install it. Two different options. One's a less permanent one, and then one's a more permanent option. Once we've got it installed, we'll then go ahead and take a look at its features and functionality. We'll also go ahead and take a look at its screen resolution of both the front and the rear camera, and take a look at how this system works in both the day and the nighttime. And then we'll wrap it up by giving you guys my overall thoughts and opinions about this system compared to all the other systems I've reviewed. For the second video, which is going to be a separate video and not part of this one, is we're actually going to go ahead and compare the Pelsee P12 Plus to the Wolfbox G840s and the Azdome PG17. The reason is because I feel those three units are very similar in styling and design, and their features are very close to each other. So I figured this would be a great video to highlight the differences so that it can hopefully help you guys determine which unit is better suited for your needs. But again, guys, that is going to be a separate video that will show up in the next couple of weeks. This video is all about this Pelsee P12 Plus. So let's go ahead and unbox this to see what this unit comes with.
So the first thing I want to highlight is their packaging. Overall, I really like this packaging. They went with an all blue design with white text and lettering on it, and I think it really gives them a good brand language. Other brands we've seen have used all white or maybe an all black, but I think the blue is very unique, and if you see this on a shelf, you know exactly that it's the Pelsee brand. So pretty impressive. On the front, they have an image of the product, of course their logo, description of the item, their model number, so again P12 Plus, and then they highlight three features. First is that it's a 12-inch wide screen. Second is it's a 4K 1080p resolution. And then the last one is that it has collision detection while driving and parking. On the sides, basic logo. Ends, they have nothing. And then on the back, it is just simply your manufacturing requirements and what you need to import it into different countries. Yeah, really impressive packaging. I really think it gives a high-end feel. So now let's slide off the cover. Then we have the clamshell box. Let's open this up. And of course, similar to a lot of the other items, the same display option. It is basically the mirror or screen sitting there with some type of protective foam ring. So we're gonna remove that. This, only difference in this is they actually used a bag. A lot of the other brands don't have a bag on it. They just have the screen there. So let's remove the bag and take a look at this screen. So this screen, like all the other ones, has a shipping film on it. So it's something we're going to remove. So that's something there that, logo, some little information here. This is not the screen. So again, the screen is underneath. And what I've heard about the Pelsee one is it is the closest mirror or system that has a mirror finish. So I can't wait to pull this off to see that finish, to see if it is really close to a mirror, where the other ones have been reflective, but haven't been a mirror-like finish. So on the bottom, we have our power button. It looks like that's probably a microphone port. On the back, we have all of our features. So first, our mounting points for attaching the rubber bands to secure it to stock mirror. If we're going to replace our stock mirror, which is one of the things I'm going to show you, we can actually go behind this, peel this off, and there's going to be a screw. We're going to unscrew those and all the tabs will come on. That is also going to be the location for the bracket. So I'll show you that when we do the installation. I'm assuming we have some type of venting or microphone here. Here we got ventilation of, I would assume, for all the gauges and all the gauges in there. We also have a reset button right in there. Simple stickers, barcodes. Here we have our front-facing camera, which is adjustable. It does have a cover on it, so we'll just simply take that off now. On the top, this is where all our ports are. We have our USB-C power port right there. Then we have our AV port, which is for the rear camera. Then we have our micro SD port. There is no micro SD in it at this time. And then we have our GPS antenna port. One thing I really like about this is it actually feels really light and seems a lot thinner than some of the other previous units that we've reviewed. So it'll be interesting to see how it does and how it feels and looks while mounted on the windshield. So now let's take a look at some of the other accessories that this comes with. So open this up. So first thing we have is our DC or 12 volt DC power adapter. So this is designed to go into your DC port, which you might want to call your cigarette lighter, if we used to call that. It does have a USB port, so that's really cool. So when you plug it in, this does turn that port into a USB plug, and then it's a simple USB. Looks like we have a bunch of cord to run, which is great. Very typical of a lot of these units. Then we have our generic GPS antenna. So nothing really fancy here, you know, stick on pad, bunch of cord. Yeah, nothing crazy there. The next bag we have is our rear view camera. What I really like about this is actually the upgraded Wolfbox camera. So this system didn't come with the generic camera, it actually came with the upgraded one. So I'm super excited to see the image quality, because this is actually designed to work with this. So it should be impressive. So I can't wait to see that. It also does come with the dual brackets, which is very nice. It's actually the bracket I'm using on my Jeep to achieve what I'm doing. So I'll show you guys how we utilize that. Quick disconnect, of course, which is really nice. And then probably about 6 feet of cord to run throughout your vehicle. The last thing it comes, well, also you mentioned some extra sticky pad if you're going to stick that up, and some screws for securing that brace or bracket. The next bag is full of some parts that we're going to need. So it's got our rubber bands here, 2 different sizes that you can use. It has our pry tool. It has a user manual in here as well, and then a microfiber towel, and then the micro SD card. It looks like they provide you with a 64 gig micro SD card, so that's really nice that they give you that. So yeah, everything you need is included with this system. It really does have everything you need. One thing that's interesting is it doesn't come with the anti-glare or anti-fog film protector that you would apply to this. We've done that in other videos, but as I said, apparently this system has the best mirror surface. So I really can't wait to try that out, because I have a feeling because of the really good mirror surface, you're not going to need that anti-glare film. And you're also actually going to be able to use this as a mirror and not just as a video surface like some of the other ones. So really can't wait to try this out. So now that we've unboxed this and you can see what it comes with, let's go take a look at how to install this in the 2 different options.
This mounting option is where you're going to be attaching the screen to your stock mirror. First step you have to do is attach the rubber bands to the top anchor points on the screen. Then place the screen onto the mirror and wrap the rubber bands around the back, and then secure it to the bottom mounting points. The second mounting option is where we're actually going to be replacing the stock mirror with the new screen. To do this, we actually have to attach a bracket on the back side of the screen. To attach the bracket, the first step is to remove the foam pads that are located on the base of all 4 of the mounting tabs. Once those foam pads are removed, we can then remove the 4 screws that are holding each of the tabs in place. Once the screws are removed, we can then remove the tabs. Once the tabs are removed, we can then place the new bracket and secure it in place using the original screws. Once that bracket is secured, the next part is to install the universal ball mount that actually fits onto the stock Jeep JL arm. Once that's secured to the bracket, we then go ahead and install the mirror to the stock arm bracket.
Now that we have this mounted up, I want to show you guys how to run the wires for the system. For running the power wires, there are actually 2 options. First, you can utilize the 12-volt DC plug adapter that came with this unit. And all you're simply going to do is take the DC plug adapter and plug it into your DC port. So mine's under this cover. As I said, it has a USB port on, so which also doubles and gives you another charging location. But once you have that plugged in, what you're going to do is take this wire, and for me on the Jeep, I actually would run it down
around the outside and then in behind the glove box. And then I went up in behind the A-pillar and in behind the trim panel right here. And then I came in to plug it in. If you want to see how to install that and how to get the A-pillar off, you can check out one of my original videos where I did that step on film. It's really easy, so I'm not going to show it again. All you have to do is pop off some panels here, undo two 10mm bolts. That entire piece comes off, and then you simply just, run your wires. Really simple to do, but if you want to see it, check out that video. One thing to note about the 12-volt DC plug adapter is, unfortunately, with this wire, because you're plugging into that port, which isn't powered when the vehicle is off, you can't get parking monitoring. So if you want parking monitor, you can't use this cord. What you have to do is actually go with the hard wiring kit, which Pelsee actually sells their own one. You can pick it up on their Amazon store. And basically what that is a power source that same way plugs into the top, goes across the interior trim panel, down the A-pillar, and then instead of coming to in behind the radio, you actually go in through the firewall and then tap into the fuse box. What's really cool about this hardwiring kit is it actually comes with different fuse box tap-in options. So depending on your vehicle and the types of fuses, it will have what you need to tap in correctly. It does come with instructions and it's very easy to do. And I have done that again on another video. And if you want to see that, go check that out. But overall, really easy to do. I highly recommend the hardwiring kit because it's a lot cleaner. You don't have cords running and you still can utilize your 12-volt DC plug adapter. So highly recommend that. The next cord I want to talk about is our GPS antenna. So I have mine mounted here on the dash right here. And what I did was run my cord in behind that speaker up through the A-pillar and then across and into here. Again, guys, very simple to do. Just got to pop that panel off and run the wire. For the rear view camera, this one is another plug here. And that one, again, run across here. But what you can do here is instead of going down the A-pillar trim, I actually ran it to the back of the vehicle. What you could do or should do is actually run it through this interior trim panel and then run it all the way to the back of the Jeep. I have actually done the lazy way and just put it up in top of here and ran it across that way. So what we're going to do, guys, now is go to the back of the vehicle and I'm going to show you guys how I mounted the rear camera now that you know where all the wiring are running for this system. So for the rear camera, what I've done is actually mounted it on the inside of my rear window on my hardtop. So you can see right here in this location. What I did utilizing their bracket system is actually stuck it to the top right there, then put the bracket down and it works perfectly. What's really cool is this bracket is what comes with this system where typically it only comes with a single bracket. This actually is a dual one. So with the single one, this wouldn't be possible, but with the dual, it definitely made it possible to give this nice look. What I did for the wiring is just simply ran it across here. I actually stuffed all the hard wires or extra wires into this pocket here. And you can see I ran the wire up across that bar and then across the top. Overall, I really like this placement. It works really well, especially when you close the window, because what it gives you the ability to is to simply use the windshield wiper to clean it off when it's raining. Now that I've shown you the two options for mounting this screen, how to run your wires or where I ran the wires, and how I mounted my rear camera, I now want to dive into powering this up and showing you guys its features and functionality. But before we do that, what I want to do with you guys is pull off the screen protector to see what the surface of this mirror or screen is, because from what I've been told, this is one of the most mirror-like screens out there. And I can't wait to see it. So I want to see if the hype is all about it and if it actually is the case. So we might as well just go ahead and pull this off. Oh, wow, guys. That, I think you guys can see it. That is a mirror. That is pretty impressive. A lot of the other systems that we've installed are reflective, but to a point. They look more like, you know, a glossy screen, like a digital screen. This one looks like an actual mirror. You can see the reflection of me in there, and yeah, that's
That's impressive. This is a feature that I have not seen in any of the units we reviewed. So now that we've installed it, we see that it's an actual mirror. Let's go ahead and power it up and see what its features and functionality. But the first thing we need to do is actually install the SD card, because when we're doing the setup, it's probably going to ask us to format that SD card, as majority of these units have had. So let's go ahead and install that SD card and power it up.
So guys, now that we have the micro SD card installed, we're going to power it up. Wow, guys, this display is really nice. It actually looks really clear. So up at the top, we have our recording button. So you can see it started recording when it's flashing red. On the side here, we have some type of display. I can't see it, so we're gonna have to switch to see that better. It's probably because this image is a little light. When we click the button, it shows up some menu options. Here we have a dial here. And if we drag this, it actually changes the angle of the camera. So you can see pretty good angle. We also have the ability on the back to manually change that and level it. So you can do that manually, but then you can also do it on the screen. So that's really nice. So that's gonna go, if we click it again, at the bottom here, we have a home symbol. It looks like a recording symbol, take a picture. This would be an audio mic system and then locking system. At the top, we have, looks like a time and date there, I can see. Over here, it looks like we have brightness. So, you press that up and down to change the brightness. That's really cool. So you've got a drag over here and a drag over, and you don't have to be on it. I guess down the middle, it kind of switches over. Yeah, it definitely switches over. So if you want a brightness, you go on the passenger side. If you want to change, you go on the left side. So really cool. So let's do that. What else do we have? So how do we switch photos? There's no switch button like the other ones. Maybe swiping, because we've done that with the Wolfbox. Let's try that. And you swipe to change cameras. So let's adjust this down so that we can see the tire. So we can see the tire there. So let's swipe again, see the other cameras. So we've got our dual view, our split view, where you can see the front and the back. Oh, that's really cool. We actually have another dual view where they switch it. So we actually have 4 views. You have front, back, dual with front first, and then dual with back first. That's really cool because a lot of the other ones don't have that. Because sometimes you want one image closer to you than the other one. So yeah, I like that feature. I really do like that. I love this swiping of this. So now that we're in the rear view, so here, oh no, we're in the front view. So the other display that we can see here is your compass. It has compass, speed, time, date, and day. So this is how your screen would stay while you're driving. I'm not sure if we're gonna keep that. We're gonna have to see what it looks like without it. Hopefully they have an option to turn it off. So now let's check out the home settings. So in the home settings, time, date, direction, speed, their logo, and we've got some areas we can go into. This is very clean and nice. If you click the dash cam, obviously it takes you right back to your dash cam. So that's very straightforward. Smart driving. Okay, so this is something very, very new that I've never experienced. So here we have ADAS option. This, it looks like you have an auto calibrate. You can turn it on and off here. So we've just turned it on. I don't know what it just said. 4K resolution, resolution will be disabled. So it won't go in 4K resolution. So that's something to know. Not a big deal, but something to note. So if I turn that on, then I go to, let's turn off auto calibrate, and then let's hit calibrate. So in here, it's going to tell you what this is. This is basically like advanced, I guess, braking zones and knowing if someone's in front of you. So you can calibrate everything. So here you can change the red line to wherever the horizon is. Then you can change the yellow line to your hood. Green line is your center line. All of this can be calibrated. And then once you've calibrated to what you want, you would hit save, and it successful saves. I guess that's great, but I think the auto calibrate is the way to go for that one, so we would leave that on. In the settings section, we have a couple options in here. So we have following collision warning. So this is basically, I guess, if you're too close to someone. So let's put that into low, because I like the idea of that one. Or no, let's put that into medium, because I like the idea of that one. If someone's braking, it will tell me if I need to brake. Lane changing alarm, let's put that in low, because I don't know how much I need that, but I'm assuming that's if you're like crossing lines, it will tell you. Pedestrian collision alarm, let's put that in low. I think that could be useful, especially parking lots. Forward vehicle start warning, that is basically if a car drives away, it will tell you that the car is moving and that you can drive. I'm going to turn that off. I don't think that's useful. I think that's a lot. Too close driving, we're definitely turning that on. You know, let me drive, don't tell me. So yeah, alarm tone, we'll leave that on, and display alarm area and code, we're going to turn that on to see what that's all about. Then we have BDS. What is this? This is blind spot detection system. So this is interesting. So this is all blind spot related. You can get more details when you turn off auto calibrate and then hit calibrate. So this gives you, so basically this is rear end collision and blind spot. Okay, so this is when you're reversing. This is basically a box that you can set to like put your safety distance so that you're in a good space. So that's really cool. Again, you click on a corner, or you click in the middle, that changes the corner, and then you can move that around to set everything up. So you can again hit save to save that, or again, just do the auto calibrate. This one here is your blind spot and lane changing. So this is where you can set the boxes to what you need. This shows you how it should be, and this shows you what you can do. Yeah, really cool. And that is the other box that's there. So basically the boxes work together on this one. So this section works together. And again, same type of thing. You kind of just move this around to change the boxes. So those two work together, and that's why there's only one section, but I guess you can turn on which ones you want. When you do turn them on, the one thing to note is that if you are turning one of these on, it disables this. So I'm assuming this is the one that does everything, but this is where if you only want the blind spot or you only want lane stuff, if you only want the reverse warnings versus the other one. So really cool. What we're gonna do is show you guys what both of them do in the later feature, but for now I'm just gonna turn on this one and leave that on, and we'll go from there. Actually, let's turn that off because there's a reason I'll show you later, but I will show you guys everything. File Explorer. So this is where you can see everything that you've taken videos of, and of course you can play it. This is doing recordings of what we're doing here, so you can see all that. You can delete stuff from here. You can also go front and back, see the different ones. Locked videos, that's on the collision. That's locked videos. It basically makes it so you can't really delete it unless you reformat it. Images, we haven't taken any images, so there's nothing in here. So yeah, that will be something we'll add to, but you could probably take photos. Actually, just for this purpose, let's take a photo. So that took a photo, and let's go back to that section. And in here, you can see your front view. If you had more photos, you would switch, but then you can also go to your back view and see your back view. So yeah, really cool. And I have to say the image quality is awesome. Really impressed by this. So the next section is camera settings. So in here, we have settings for the camera. First, we have video resolution. So you have options for 1080p, 1080p, 2K, and 4K. So it's in 4K right now, so we'll leave it there. Again, when you turn on the drivability, it's gonna switch it to 2.5, but yeah, so just something to know if you're recording stuff. If you want good quality, you gotta make sure that smart driving stuff is not engaged. Loop recording, so this is your timestamp on how long you're loop recording. So we're gonna do 2 minutes. Actually, we're gonna go 3 minutes. It's just much easier to work with. Frequency, we're gonna turn that up so that the system works a little bit better. At least that's my understanding, is the higher. Oh, actually, I think it's the other way around. Let's leave it in 50 just to see what it is, and we'll see what that. Collision detection sensitivity. So this is your G sensor in the set system. basically you can adjust how sensitive it is. It's default at medium, but we're gonna put it in low because this is a Jeep and things tend to bounce around, so I don't want that up at super high. If you're going off-road, I highly recommend you turn that off so that the footage you capture is not always locked. So the next thing we have is parking monitoring. So that is basically the sensor for parking monitoring. We're gonna put that at medium so that in the event that someone hits my car, it will record. So I like that. We have time-lapse recording, so you can choose whether it's off, speed. So we're gonna turn that to 2, we're gonna turn that on. Then you can select the time. So that basically gives the ability that once you get out of your car, your vehicle is going to record a time-lapse video for 24 hours. If you're traveling, you can easily put it on 72 hours, but you have to remember that it is drawing on your battery, so that's something to consider. 24 hours. Then we have sound recording. We don't need our sound record, so we'll turn that off. Timestamp on the video, we'll definitely turn that off. WDR, that is an important feature for nighttime driving with the camera, so we'll turn that on. Rear view camera preview, so that's basically how the camera shows up. So this is all dependent on how you mount your camera. If you mount your camera upright, correct, you probably could leave it in no change. But if you mount it upside down, then you might need to flip the image, or you'll need to mirror it, or you can flip and mirror it. For us, let's go take a look at the camera. Right now it's in mirrored, so let's see if that's correct. It looks like that is correct. This sand pile is, yep, it's on my left side, so we are good to go with the mirrored setting. So we're not gonna make any changes to that. That was the last option in the camera setting, so let's go over to system setting. In the system setting, the first option we have is set rear view default. We're definitely gonna do that. That's gonna give us the ability when we turn it on, it's gonna go to the rear view camera. Volume settings, let's turn that down. We still want to hear the warning, so we'll leave it at 1, but we'll turn that down. Boot sound, definitely turn that on. I don't need that noise every time we turn on the car. Pressing sound, that's this noise. We're going to turn that off. Auto power off. Ooh, what are our options there? 1 minute, 2, yeah, let's just leave that off. I'm not sure what that is. Auto screen off, we'll leave that at 1 minute as well. Speed units, obviously miles per hour. Time zone, that's fine. Language, English. Voice control, so this is our sensitivity level. So, okay, so you can choose. We're just gonna leave it at high for now. Select voice alert, the voice for it. So you can either do male or female. Let's leave it female. We're gonna hear what that sounds like. Display screen, so that's a little display that was in the side with the compass. We're gonna turn that off and let's go take a look at what that looks like now. So you can see there's nothing here, and I think when this all goes away, it will still, yeah, it's not, that's way better. So we're gonna leave that like that. Let's go back to there, scroll back down. The final couple things are satellite information. So we have our satellite information there, which I don't know who's gonna look at that, but it is there. Wi-Fi information, this is cool. It actually has a barcode. So what this is useful for is connecting the Bluetooth app or the app for your phone to this unit to be able to access the content that you have on the SD card. It'll be interesting. We have, you have the name here and the password, and you can turn it on or off. I wonder if this barcode is going to give me the ability to download the app or connect it. That's something we're going to have to figure out when I show you guys how the app works. And that will be after this part. Time, date settings, you can change all this. Right now, we're going to leave it at that. And we'll change it when we need to. Format, this is where you could format your SD card. We've already done that, so we're gonna hit no. We don't need to do that right now. Version information, so this is where you get the, the model you're using, the software version. So that's the current version, the software available. You can get it at the website and then contact them at their customer support. From what I've read online, this system actually has an ongoing update. It actually will send the updates automatically. That's what I heard. I'm not sure if it's going to work. I don't know how that's going to work, but that's what I read on Amazon. So for now, I'm going to believe it until it changes. Last thing you can do is factory reset, which we're not going to do. So now that we've checked out this entire section, let's go back to the dash cam. As I mentioned, these are all the buttons down here: home, record, take photo, mute video, lock video. Over here, we actually have the voice control. If you click on that, it actually tells you the options for voice control. Some of the options include turning the screen on, turning it off, showing the front camera, showing, oh, it's doing stuff because it's hearing me. You can do showing the rear camera, you can do showing both. You can also turn on the audio, turn it off. You can also lock this video. You can also take photos. So there's a lot of cool things. Let's play with some of this. Show rear camera. Show rear camera. Show rear camera. Show both cameras. Show front camera. Turn off screen. Turn on screen. Take photo. Show both cameras. Show both cameras. Show both cameras. So overall, guys, the voice control works. It is a little bit glitchy on the words sometimes, but it's not bad. In comparison to the Azdome PG17 that had this feature, I think it's slightly better. It's a little bit more responsive, and the words that they've chose are a lot easier to say, like the take photo is a lot smoother. But I did learn that if you have words attached to it, it doesn't work that well. So for example, if I say take photo, see, it didn't really get it because it was connected to my statement. But if I slow it down, take photo, it easily gets it. So really cool. I really do like that feature and can't wait to try it out. Yeah, at this point, we've kind of went through everything. Up top, there is some other information, you know, GPS, SD card install, Wi-Fi. So at this point, what we're gonna do is first, I'm gonna connect the Wi-Fi app to, or connect the phone, get the app on my phone, connect it, and show you guys what that's all about. Then we're gonna go ahead and take this Jeep for a spin and test out some of its smart driving capabilities and show you guys what those are like, and also capture some image resolution of the front and rear camera in both the daytime and nighttime.
Once you open up the app, it's going to take you to a login page. On this page, you can decide if you want to create an account and log in, or if you simply want to press skip. On the next page, it's going to take you to the My Camera page, where it's going to try and connect to any cameras you might have connected to your phone. If you don't have anything, it's going to take you through a connection tutorial, where the first step is going to take you to your Wi-Fi. When you're on the Wi-Fi page, all you have to do is click the Wi-Fi for the device. Once you've clicked that, you're then going to enter the password, which is 12345678. Then you're going to connect to the device. Once connected, you then hit the back button, and it should take you to the My Camera page once again, and immediately connect to the device. The first page it's going to take you to is a live stream of your camera. As you can see here, it is live streaming the rear camera. From here on the image, you actually have a button where you can flip to the front camera. Then you can go ahead and flip back. The next button that's also located on the image is the option to turn on and off the microphone. And one of the other buttons that is available for only the rear camera is the ability to flip the image or mirror the image. Then you also have an option to switch your image from portrait to landscape. Then on the bottom left corner, there is a micro SD button. If you click that, it's going to take you to your image gallery, where you can see all the looped recordings you have. From here, you can click on a video, and you can actually play and watch the video on your phone. You can also download the video directly to your phone. Along with downloading, you also have the option to share and edit it. So you can edit here and actually trim this segment of the video down. Once trimmed, you can also add music to the video. Once done, you have the option to share it directly to TikTok or send it through any other app you might want to use. While watching the video, you also have the ability to take screenshots of different situations. And of course, you have the option to delete the file if you'd like. When you go back to the camera file, you also have access to all your snapshots and all your locked videos. Once you return to the main screen or the live capture, on this page, you actually have the option to turn on and off the recording. You also have the option to capture an image on both the front and the rear cameras. And the final section, which is on the bottom right, is your setting sections. In this section, you have access to the majority of the system settings that you already saw on the screen itself. And then the last thing that I've never seen in any of these apps is the GPS display. So what you can actually do using this app is, if you go for a drive while on the live footage, you can actually see what speed you're going, what your current altitude is, what your total altitude that you've climbed. A lot of cool information that is available that I've never seen any of these apps do before. And the last thing that I actually noticed after I left the app and returned is that the image of the camera on the My Camera page actually updated from a regular dash cam symbol to the P12 image. I thought this was really cool and just something extra I wanted to show you guys.
And we're back. So yesterday we finished off by showing you guys the features and functionality of the screen and the features and functionality of the mobile app. What I did after showing you guys that is I actually went ahead and drove the Jeep around on the street to test and capture some content of both the image quality of the system and the smart driving feature that this system has to offer. For the image quality, similar to a lot of the other items, the front-facing camera, which is the 4K resolution camera, had no issues capturing the image or recording the image in the front of the vehicle or displaying on the screen. What I found is the image quality is super crisp and clear, and you can read everything. You can see license plates, signs. It also seems to do really good at night. There's no issue with that. You do get a little bit of flickering some cases, but that wasn't all the time. It was maybe just when like the screen was trying to switch between nighttime or night vision and regular color vision. For the rear camera, again, similar to a lot of the other items that are out there, this system uses a 1080p resolution, and unfortunately, these cameras do fine during the day. They do have a little bit of pixelation in them, so it makes it a little more difficult to read out license plate. But where these systems seem to struggle, and I'm guessing it's just a limitation of the technology, is at night. These systems just cannot handle headlight flaring that occurs when you're in very dark situations. When you're in the city, driving around, there's an extra light. These systems seem to be just fine. They do have some flaring, but not that bad. But you can make out colors, you can see everything. But as soon as you enter into a dark environment, the system just struggles with headlights. This system does have a night vision mode, so when you go into a dark environment, it will actually switch to more of a black and white image, which does make it easier to see. But when the headlights start to flare on the camera, it just causes it to be a little bit bright. The one thing that's super unique about this system is because of the reflective surface on the screen. If I don't like the headlight flaring that's occurring at night, all I can do is either voice command and tell it to turn off the screen, or I can simply just press the button and I have a perfectly good mirror surface that I can see out the back of the Jeep. As for the smart driving features, so I learned a lot while testing it out. So this ADAS is basically more of a front feature. This engages all the features that would happen at the front of your vehicle. So it utilizes the front camera for all the smart things. The main thing it does is image tracking. So it puts these boxes around vehicles, people, and your vehicle. And what it will do is notify you of different situations. So if a car is braking in front of you, it will say a command, watch for collision, and that just gets you to notice. If you're following too close, it will tell you travel with safe traveling distance or driving distance. If there's you're departing a lane, it will actually say lane departing or lane departing occurring. So it will basically, it's verbally telling you information. I also noticed it tracked people. So if people are walking around, it tracks that. I didn't notice any voice commands with that, but it just tracks them. Oh, it also tells you when a car has moved in front of you. So if you're parked and it moves, it'll tell you vehicle in forward or front of you moving. It's kind of, I guess, to tell you that you can go. Yeah, overall, pretty cool. For the next features or the other ones, what I learned with those ones is the BSD and the LCA are both for the rear camera. The BSD is basically a blind spot behind your vehicle. What this does, and this system does, is basically while you're driving around, it does the image tracking on the rear camera, so it circles objects and cars. But then it also puts a blue box behind your vehicle. And as soon as a car enters that blue box, it will simply beep a sound, which to notify you that someone has entered that space. Pretty useful in a reversing sense. When you're driving around, I guess it tells you if somebody's about to hit you maybe, or is in your space. But if you're reversing, it tells you if a person or a car is in that space. So it was pretty cool. The next one, which was the LCA, this is basically your blind spot monitoring system. It basically, what it does is puts these green bars on the side of your vehicle. And if a car enters it, it will turn red. And then it will notify you with another tone. The unique thing about these tones is they actually use 3 different sounding tones. So once you get used to it, you can actually know if someone's entered your left blind spot, or if someone's entered your right blind spot, or if someone's entered your rear blind spot. And the cool thing about these 2 items is you can actually you can have either one by itself, or you can go ahead and turn them both on and have them both running at the same time. Overall, pretty impressive idea. I think this type of technology can be very useful. If you know someone, or if you know you're a bad driver, or you know someone that's not that good, possibly this is a great thing. It gives you that little bit of advanced notice and, gives you a chance to avoid something. It's not going to stop something. If something's going to happen, it's still going to happen. So it's not going to prevent it, or not going to completely stop everything, but it will give you a chance to avoid something that's occurring. So guys, before I give you guys my overall thoughts and opinions about the Pelsee P12 Plus, I have one more thing to mention about the smart driving feature. One thing I found out while driving around with the system is that you can actually turn off the screen and run it in the mirror style and still get the audio notifications from the smart features. So now I can give you guys my overall thoughts and opinions about this system. So I have to say, I'm quite impressed by this unit, and it definitely exceeded my expectations. When Pelsee reached out to me and asked me to review their system, I honestly was like, okay, yeah, let's do it, because I do know it's going to be valuable to all of you guys. But for me, I was like, I'm probably not going to run it because it's that shape. I don't like that shape. But after using it, it definitely changed my view on it. I'm a fan of the square one, which I was using the Azdome PG17X. I love that one. I recently did Azdome's PG17 and decided to go back to the PG19X mainly because of its shape. They both had the same features, but I just like the square shape. It really tied in well with my Tesla style radio. But after using this Pelsee P12 Plus, my mind has changed. I'm probably going to keep this in my vehicle because this one has so many features built into it, and the overall quality of it is so much better than any of the other units I've had, and it's definitely worth keeping in the Jeep. So this is the one that I'm going to be keeping in my Jeep and going to be using. I do have a couple pros and cons, which might explain why I chose this. So the first pro I have about this has to do with the physical display. What I really like about this is that it has the mirror effect. All of the other units I've reviewed don't really have this mirror-like effect on it. They all have a glossy screen effect, which you can somewhat see images in it, but it's not the same as the stock mirror. This is pretty much the same as a stock mirror. The only difference is a stock mirror has the self-dimming feature where this one doesn't. And what I really like this, or what I really find impressive about this, is even though it has the mirror effect, when you turn the screen on, the image still comes through. So that is really impressive. With all the other ones, even though they had glossy finishes, when you ask it to turn on the screen and show the image, I still had issues seeing through it, especially in sunny environments, where with this one, I haven't noticed that issue. So with all those other ones, you've had to put like an anti-glare film on it just so that you can see the image better. The next pro I have about this has to do with installation. What I really like about this one is that Pelsee made it easy to decide whether you want to mount this by simply attaching it to your stock mirror, or if you actually want to attach a bracket on the back and replace your mirror altogether. I should also mention that Pelsee also does sell their own bracket. So you could, when you purchase this unit, you can also purchase the bracket as well. So really nice to know that they offer everything you need to decide which way you want to do it. You can get the hardwiring kit, the bracket, and the mirror itself. So yeah, really good to see a brand doing complete packages. Next pro I have about this is software. So this system has one of the best softwares I've ever used out of all the units. The interface is super clear. They use a good balance between app design symbols and text where needed. I also really like its app. So their app is really well designed as well. It's super easy to use. It has some features that I've never seen, like the GPS tracking, the idea that when you're moving the vehicle, it actually shows you where you're going. None of the other apps do that. They are just simple image files, where this one, or the app for this, is super clean. You also have the ability to download those directly to your phone. Then you can also edit them in the app, add music, and even post them on TikTok and share them with any friends. So really cool to see them taking advantage of what an app can do, and also taking advantage of what the software in this can do. Oh, and forgot to mention, the software includes that smart driving feature, which none of the other ones do. So really cool to see that the software in this is way up there compared to all the other ones. So guys, I'm actually going to jump in right here because I actually have one more very important pro that I wanted to mention that I forgot to mention when I was recording this section. The pro has to do with its price. So typically a unit like this with all its features built in, a 4K unit, is going to be around, 180 to 250. But this unit, which not on sale, typically goes for 130. So that price is a super steal, especially with the pros that you're getting with this unit. You can't go wrong with that. Other comparative brands would be, $200, or they'll either be priced around 189, but always on sale for 119. This is 130. So even if you see that one on sale for 119, this one for 130 has way better features built into it. So that is another pro. So let's go back to where I was and resume on the next pro. So the next pro I have, which is kind of a con, so it's going to lead us into the con, has to do with or at least the pro being the rear view camera. So I like that Pelsee has included the upgraded rear camera, and they didn't just use the generic camera. All of the other units I've had, I'll use the generic camera, and the image quality is just not that good. So for when I've been using all those other ones, I've actually thrown on the upgraded Wolfbox WDR camera just to make them usable and deal with them. Again, this leads us to the con. So that rear view camera still cannot handle the headlight flaring. And at this point, I think this is just a limitation of the way this works. But again, one positive to this system is that you can simply just turn off the display if you can't handle that headlight flaring, and then use it as a regular mirror. So yeah, this system definitely solves that issue, or at least gives you a solution to it. I am still hunting for the camera that works. I recently did just try out the Alpine HCE 1100, and unfortunately it doesn't work with these, so I actually had to return it. It doesn't work with these systems. It's just the type of camera. It worked fine with my radio, but not with this. So still haven't found the solution, and hopefully someone comes out with a solution in the near future and makes, you know, the best system out there. Yeah, so that's one of my cons. Any other cons about this one? Not really. Honestly, I mean, it's a pro and a con. The voice control, really cool. Con, it still struggles and it has limited commands. I would love to see the ability to have different commands, like lower the volume or stuff like that. Maybe down the road they'll add that, but for now, it's pretty good. I love the voice command in that, so that's the pro. Con is limitations. Yeah, at this point, guys, I don't really have much more to say about this. I am super impressed by this, and this is definitely the unit that's going to be staying in my Jeep. I will still be doing that comparison video to compare the Wolfbox G840s to the Pelsee P12 Plus and the Azdome P17 4K. So I'll still do that video in the near future. But this one was all about this unit. What I'll do, as I usually do, is I'll put all the links below for all the items that I've shown. I'll put a link for the bracket, the hardwiring kit, the mirror itself. I'll actually also put a link for the 10-inch mirror, because I think that would actually be a better solution for a Jeep Wrangler JT or a Jeep Gladiator. So that would definitely be a better solution for that. Yeah, overall, guys, really happy about that system. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it very informative. I hope it helps you decide on what unit you want to buy for yourself. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to post them below. As usual, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share. Keep evolving, and we'll see you guys on the next video.